Hey guys, this is the Clear English Corner, and I'm Keenyn, your personal American English pronunciation coach. In this lesson, I'm going to share a quick tip with you about pronouncing this suffix or word ending, the IAL suffix. This one can be a little tricky because there's actually two different pronunciations for this word ending. In this lesson, we're going to talk about both pronunciations and how to know when to use each one. We'll also talk about how this suffix impacts word stress, or which syllable you need to emphasize within a word. And finally, we'll practice some words that have this ending together in sentences. So let's dive in. The first and most common pronunciation of this suffix is the dark L sound, ol, ol. This is the sound where the back of the tongue is being engaged, pulling back and down, ol, ol. If you need more help with this sound, I have another lesson that dives deep into making the dark L. You can get to that lesson here, or I'll share a link for you in the video description. So again, the most common pronunciation of this suffix is just the dark L sound, ol, ol. And you'll hear that in words like official, substantial, potential, and special. The second way that you'll hear this suffix pronounced is eel, eel. We have the E as in green vowel sound rolling into that dark L, eel, eel. Also sounds like the name of this sea creature, which I find fascinating and a little bit creepy. Eel. Anyway, you hear the suffix pronounced this way in words like tutorial, memorial, millennial, managerial. Here the suffix has two syllables, eel, instead of just the one, ol, ol. Do you hear the difference? The tendency for a lot of non-native speakers is to pronounce this suffix the second way all the time. So the word official by a lot of my students will sound like official, and the word substantial might sound like substantial. So how do you know which way to pronounce this word ending? You guys know there's not a lot of rules or patterns that are always consistent in English pronunciation, and it's one of the things that makes it so frustrating sometimes. But in this case, there is a pattern that we can look for consistently. But you have to use your ears, and you want to listen for the sound that comes right before the suffix. When the sound right before the suffix is the sh, sh sound, then you're going to pronounce the suffix as just the dark L, as just a single syllable. Ol, shul, shul, official, substantial, special. Do you hear that sh sound right before the suffix? So we have a pattern here, but it's not as straightforward as you may wish. The letters typically associated with the sh sound are the S and the H together in words like show and wish. But you're never going to see an SH before the IAL ending, because that would just be too easy, right? Instead, what you're going to see is a C, a T, or maybe the letter S. So anytime you hear that sh sound before the IAL, you're going to roll right into the dark L, shul, shul. You're going to hear that sh, but you're going to see the letters C, T, or maybe S. Official, potential, substantial, special, controversial. Any other sound that's not the sh right before the IAL ending, you'll pronounce that suffix with the two syllables, the eel, eel. Tutorial, millennial, remedial, managerial. So now that you know how to pronounce this sound, let's talk about how this suffix impacts the stress of the word, or which syllable you need to make stand out or be in the spotlight. Anytime you see this ending, you're going to emphasize the syllable that comes right before the suffix. So for example, we have the word tutor, tutor. If we add the IAL suffix, it becomes tutorial, tutorial. And that stress shifts to the O as in gold sound right before the suffix, tutorial. This word, manager, manager, where we emphasize the first syllable and the A as in black sound. If we put the IAL suffix on there, it becomes managerial, managerial. And you'll hear that E as in green sound emphasized right before the suffix, managerial. This word, remedy, remedy, stressing the first syllable and the E as in red vowel sound. If we add the suffix, remedial, remedial. The emphasis shifts to the E as in green sound right before the suffix, remedial. All right, so now you know the two different pronunciations of this suffix, and you know that when you see this word ending, you want to emphasize the syllable right before the suffix. So let's practice some words with this ending together. I'm going to mix these up, okay? So you have to listen for the sounds right before the suffix to know how to pronounce it. Beneficial, beneficial. Here we have that sh sound, so we go to the dark L, shul, beneficial. This is really beneficial. This is really beneficial. Serial, serial. He's a serial offender. He's a serial offender. Potential, potential. This property has a lot of potential. This property has a lot of potential. Social, social. It's all over social media. It's all over social media. Official, official. Now it's official. Now it's official. Managerial, managerial. I'm looking for a managerial position. I'm looking for a managerial position. Initial, initial. What are your initial impressions? What are your initial impressions? Millennial, millennial. Everyone has an opinion about millennials. Everyone has an opinion about millennials. Special, special. It's really special to me. It's really special to me. Financial, financial. She's a financial advisor. She's a financial advisor. Memorial, memorial. There's going to be a memorial next week. There's going to be a memorial next week. Colonial, colonial. It's a gorgeous colonial home. It's a gorgeous colonial home. Essential, essential. This is really essential. This is really essential. Artificial, artificial. It's full of artificial flavors. It's full of artificial flavors. Testimonial, testimonial. Several people shared positive testimonials. Several people shared positive testimonials. Remedial, remedial. He'll need to complete a few remedial classes. He'll need to complete a few remedial classes. Presidential, presidential. The next presidential election should be interesting. The next presidential election should be interesting. Substantial, substantial. There's a substantial difference in the before and after. There's a substantial difference in the before and after. Commercial, commercial. That commercial always makes me cry. That commercial always makes me cry. Influential, influential. She's a very influential person. She's a very influential person. Material, material. What type of material is this? What type of material is this? Editorial, editorial. She wrote an editorial for the magazine. She wrote an editorial for the magazine. So there you have it. Now you know all the secrets to pronouncing this word ending. Be sure to visit the Clear English Corner website for a list of all the practice words and sentences used in this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please be sure to like the video and share with your friends. As always, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.